Hey, thanks for checking out the Pure Delusion YouTube channel. Today is something a little bit out of our wheelhouse, but in it, we never really talk about it on video, but we argue about it on Discord all the time. Isn't that right, Ricky?
All the time, yes.
Yeah, so first, introduce myself. I'm Tamir, aka Second.
I'm Roku, aka Ricky.
Alright, and I like how you threw Roku first, as if your real name is.
Oh, my real name is Ricky. I go by Roku online.
Right. So today we're going to be talking about 3 products here in which we all own. So first we got the Cryorig here, which is an air cooler, double radiator system with 140 millimeter fans. Then we have the new NZXT X62 Kraken with the whole mirrored looping effects here. And then we have good old trusty Corsair. I think everyone else has Corsair for their coolers except me. This is me. But the H100i version 2. So we'll start with type. They're both, well, we got air. These are both closed loop water coolers. Price wise, this is the cheapest. I got this for $79.99. I had this for about, I guess, a year and a half. We got the Corsair here, and you just got this on sale. Talk about that, Ricky.
I got this at Best Buy today because my one broke down on me. But I got this today at Best Buy, and it was $96.99 at Best Buy. But it would just went off sale earlier today. They said I didn't get the sale by 8 hours or something, and it was on sale for $79.99. But they gave it to me for $84.99. Nice. And on Amazon, H100i V2 is $139.99.
Yeah.
So I got a pretty good deal on it. And this is a 240 rad, while this water cooler is a 280 rad.
Yeah, and this model, the Kraken one, is probably about 2 years old. This one just came out at the end of November 2016. I was a big advocate of air cooling until I saw how cool the mirrored display looked, and doing a few builds. Everyone had water coolers, and I didn't, and I kind of started to get envious of how cool they look with the tubing and everything. So I went ahead and converted over, but this bad boy was
a good side.
280 rad, but I paid $160 for this out the gate. So that's that. Now I'll start talk about the Cryorig. So the Cryorig, this was something. It was between Cryorig and Noctua. Both, I think Noctua is much more well known.
It's more expensive too, I believe.
Yeah, they're both around the same price. But when I was actually looking at the numbers from a lot of other YouTubers like Jay's 2 Cent and Linus, the Cryorig was actually edging out the Noctua, and I believe it's because of the design. You can actually do 3 140 millimeter fans. But even with just the 2, it would edge the Noctua out. I think most people, what they're using though is the what's the thing called, the 212? You don't know about air coolers.
Yeah.
But the 212, I think almost everyone knows about it. It's one of the most popular brand air coolers, and it is around $20 to $30 depending on sale. But for myself, air cooler numbers, I usually idled around 30, 35 degrees Celsius. When I was active in game, I was around 50, 55, and I run AMD, and I was overclocked to 4.2, so I didn't do too bad.
What AMD processor did you have?
8350, I believe.
Okay.
Yep, and I was overclocked to 4.2, and I didn't do bad at all temps wise. The only time I actually ran into temp issues, it was when I was streaming and playing a high resolution game like Witcher 3. That was the only time where I actually ran into temp issues where I would actually see warnings. But other than that, it did, its job. Definitely got to keep the dust out. The biggest thing I would say is the profile of this thing is ginormous. It looks like you have a jet engine in your case. It's nothing attractive about the Cryorig.
Did you like having it overall?
Overall, yes. I would say if someone is, set on, hey, I want to get an air cooler, I don't trust these leaky water coolers because it's going to ruin my system and I can't afford that, I would definitely say Cryorig did a great job.
And you like Cryorig because if you go online and you ask anyone online that knows about computers for an air cooler, everyone and their mom is going to tell you to get a Noctua.
Yeah.
Everyone defends Noctua. Noctua is the best. You're paying for that Noctua brand. So do you think it competes with the Noctua?
Yes, 100% it competes. And if you literally go watch on this very YouTube network we're all on, go look at the videos. The numbers are there. It's just, but Noctua is tried and proven. Cryorig is kind of the new entry into this fight when it comes to air coolers. So I think some people aren't willing to step out on that branch and just want to go with, well, I know this because we have years of information. This is the new guy.
And the reason I ask that is because if you just go online asking people, they're going to tell you to get the Noctua.
Yep,
but do the research for yourself.
Yes.
Do the research for yourself to find out which brand will work best for you. Because if you, like I said, if you just go online, they're going to tell you to get a specific brand, at the exact specific one that they got, most likely, when there's probably better, cheaper alternatives out there.
Yeah. Now, a negative for Cryorig, though, is I was doing a build for a buddy of mine, and it was the smaller X42 Cryorig, which is a much smaller profile. For a friend of mine, he had an 8320 processor, AMD, and he was not able to game at steady frames. He was constantly having heating issues in which his machine was shutting down. I read a lot of reviews. He should have been able to, game and be perfectly fine. Yes, his temps would have been high, but it shouldn't have been to the point where it was shutting down due to temperatures rising to a point.
Is the 83 series, doesn't it run hot generally, though?
Yes.
But it shouldn't be shutting down your computer.
No,
but I think the 83 series, I think that does run a bit hot.
It does. It runs hotter than Intel 100%. And he had his intake fans, his exhaust, everything was set up. And Cryorig let me down there, so I would not recommend their smaller budget brand coolers.
Okay, so we're going to go into the air cooler. Okay.
Water coolers.
Sorry, water coolers.
Yeah, you're fine.
Today, well, last night I was playing my video games for Honor.
Yeah.
I was playing at my 60 frames, and then all of a sudden it dropped to 10 or below. And I had to go through the troubleshooting process, and I figured out it was my water cooler. My water cooler stopped working, and it was the Cooler Master Glacier 240.
Yeah.
And it's the closed loop, but it's also expandable. So if you want to expand upon it and add parts for your hard drives and your GPUs and things like that.
Yeah, to do a custom loop.
Yeah, to do a custom loop, and that's why I got it. But after about 3 years and 8 months, I would say, it decided to stop working last night, and that's why I got this baby, the H100i V2.
Now I have a question. When that cooler stopped working, did you immediately think, "Oh my God, it leaked everywhere"? No,
because I was still able to do everything on, like, I didn't see any smoke, I didn't see any fire or anything. The only thing I noticed was my frames. I have a great computer. My frames went from a steady 60 VSync to under 10, and it took me a while to process until my sensors went off and told me that my processor temperature had rose above 75 degrees Celsius. And that's when my sensor started going off, and that's when I figured out what the problem was. Then I opened my computer and I heard the actual water cooler struggling, so I knew that the water cooler had failed.
Okay.
And I have an i7 4770K, and it never runs hot. Idle is like 15 degrees Celsius, and then when I'm gaming, it's like 30 at the max. At the absolute max, it's about 30. That's the highest I've probably ever seen it.
Now, just so our viewers know, let's talk about your fan profile system, in which how your case is designed, because you have a very unique fan structure. From everyone that knows, when you're dealing with water coolers, you have your pull system for the air, you have your push, then there's the push-pull. Now, you have not 2 fans, but 4 fans on your radiator. And how do you have them positioned?
Okay, so I have if you know what the NZXT switch 810 case, the white version. And I have 2 fans in the front that's pulling air in.
Yep, your intake.
Then I have the 2 fans underneath the radiator pushing air out. And I also have 2 fans on top of the radiator pushing air out. So I have air coming into the front and then air out the back.
So you have a double exhaust system on a double rad, most would consider that, because it's not a single like a 120 millimeter, which is I think is very unique, and I'm probably sure people would say, like, that makes no sense and you're not gaining any performance.
It works for me. That's all I can
Right,
say. I've
right.
never had temp issues at all.
This is true. You've been freezing for a very long time. Now for myself, switching over to this NZXT, it was very easy. Nowhere near as hard to set up this. You have a very long screwdriver to screw it in because the radiator's so big. And I have big hands. It's not easy to get in there. But for this one, it was very easy to set up. The similarities between these two, though, and I think where NZXT learned their lesson, they both utilize the Aztec base model. And Aztec is the company which actually produces the tubing and the radiator for both of these water cooling systems. So NZXT, the previous Kraken, they had their own custom patent on that system. Wasn't as successful. Their failure rate was much higher. They went ahead and paid the money. Like, hey, this has worked for Corsair. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. However, they added a little bit more flair by adding the infinity loop system, which this has a mirrored design. If you Google or YouTube NZXT Kraken X62, you'll see it is very flashy, and they were pretty much the first to the market with the RGB cool water blocks, which are all coming out now with the launch of Ryzen, because everyone knows there's going to be a rush to produce. You know, people are buying new CPUs; they're going to want to buy new coolers. That's just how it goes.
Yep.
Now, for myself, the thing I find innovative about the NZXT model is the CAM software. Now, Corsair has Corsair Link, which Corsair Link is tried and true, just like everything about the Corsair brand. But the CAM, however, is much more buggy. It is not as solid, and on top of it, they're much more. I guess they're dreamers of what they want this suite to be. So not only do you control the temps of your GPU, your CPU, your case fans, they also monitor your hard drive health. They also monitor the RGB color arrangement of the water block. And then it gives you the ability to overclock your CPU, and it gives you the ability to overclock your GPU all in one piece of software. Now, I would not recommend using that because the CAM software currently is very buggy, but you know, it's like, well, you can kind of see where they're headed. Thankfully, I have an Asus motherboard which has a great fan profile and overclocking profile, so I can kind of use those tools without having to bother with CAM. So right now, if I had to say Corsair, you want the tried and true method, I always recommend it. I guess that's just kind of how I am as a person. I'm always looking to see what else is there before I just jump on what everyone says is the best. I kind of want to see what else is out there. That's why I went with Cryorig instead of Noctua. Now I'm going with the NZXT X62 instead of a Corsair.
And my first computer that I built in 2010 has a single rad Corsair water cooler, and it's been going strong since 2010. So it's been going strong for seven plus years now. And I got the Cooler Master in 2013, and it already done broke down. So Corsair is looking like the way to go, at least for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't argue with that. Like I said, I'm pretty much in it for the pretty lights, and I know that the base of this is produced by Aztec, and that's the same as Corsair. So overall, do you want to do air or liquid? Well, I would say that depends on what temps you're willing to live with. If you're okay with being at 50 to 60 something degree temps, then hey, go air cooler. It's cheaper in most cases, and you don't have to worry about a pump going down like in what you're dealing with now, or leakage, which is the worst fear.
Oh yes, the worst by far.
But I think when you kind of go the PC gaming route, I think you are an enthusiast, and I just think, like myself, it's a matter of time before you give into popular opinion. You watch these videos and you see how cool it looks, and you want to be part of the fad.
And I have one quick question for you. Do you think, because all these fan companies are advertising these static pressure fans for radiators, do you think a static pressure fan is worth it on a radiator, or can you just put a regular fan on there?
Well, that's a whole nother topic that we could talk about for quite a bit. I am a fan addict. I have
Yes, you are.
so many fans. My new build, well, I can't even say new, my upgraded build, I have the new magnet levitation Corsair fans, which were $34.99 a piece, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yes, I think it matters. I think it all matters. But like I said, that's where the enthusiasts starts to take over. Because as soon as you get this PC, if you're not there yet, it's going to start off, and then you're going to start adding piece by piece by piece, and you want better numbers, better numbers, and you just can't help yourself. So, do I think it matters? Yes, it matters, but it's all within what your budget allows. So, that's what I would say is it's about your budget.
All right, I'm Roku.
All right, I'm second, and if you have any comments or any questions you would like us to answer, please put them below. And any ideas for another tech video? This is our first time doing anything like this. If you enjoyed it, let us know below.
Hit the subscribe button.
Yep, like it, please. Thanks.